We don't need villains, we just need complex characters? No, I think we need both. Now, it's certainly been the trend these last several years to have villains who are more complex, more relatable. Villains you can look at and think, I'm not saying you're right, but I do get it. And the value of this kind of villain is that it shows that evil is not this abstract, unknowable force all the time. And that many times what we consider to be evil is often just the consequence of circumstance and unrelenting pressure. I'm not going to say everyone is just one bad day away from being the Joker, but that's kind of the idea here. That anyone who's dealt a bad hand in life could potentially turn to questionable behavior. And the reason this matters is because very often there are points in these villain stories where they could have turned away from villainy if someone had just stepped up and given them that chance. Maybe they could have been given an opportunity to become something else, or maybe someone just needed to give them a helping hand. But this isn't the only kind of evil that exists in the world. So this can't be the only kind of villain or antagonist that we portray in our stories and our media. See, very often these complex characters who make bad choices are people who don't have a lot of power. This is why they're forced into making bad or evil or villainous decisions. But there's another kind of person in the real world, the person who does have the power to do good and chooses evil anyway. I'm not going to name any names, but I'm sure one popped into your head just hearing me say that. These aren't people in difficult circumstances, these are people who choose selfishness regardless of who it hurts. Sometimes even because it hurts other people. And that kind of villain, that true evil villain, also needs to be represented. Because in the real world, these are the people who have the potential to do the greatest amount of harm, which means they're the ones we really need to be watching out for and stopping before it gets to that point. We need both these kinds of characters, really all kinds of characters, represented in our media. Because good and evil take many forms and wear many different faces, and we need to be equipped to recognize all of them.